Forest Park City Council meeting number 1316, June 18, 2018. Let us stand for the pledge, please. Take allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Burns.
Here.
Collins.
Here.
Herbie.
Here.
Holt.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Moore.
Here.
Ness.
Here.
Let the record show that all council members are present and accounting for. Item number 2 is minutes. You all received a copy of the minutes. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none. Item number 3 is presentation business of the month. Mr. Bram.
Mayor, members of council, thank you very much. Our June Business of the Month is yet another example of a new company joining our growing business community. The T-Shirt Company is a family-owned and operated business with substantial experience in the customized apparel industry. They pride themselves on the company's premier reputation for superior customer service centered on delivering the highest quality decorated apparel items at competitive prices. They listen to customers and offer suggestions that bring their ideas to life. Whether you're wearing your favorite team's name and logo or advertising your business on your employees' uniforms, the experts at the T-Shirt Company can outfit your group with soft, durable, and reliable shirts, sweatshirts, and jackets. They use the latest fabrics, designs, and printing methods to provide a vibrant, eye-catching graphics and enjoyable clothing. Each decorated apparel item displays your organization's name or logo, as well as their dedication to service and quality. Last year, the company made a significant investment to renovate and move into a vacant building in our company's original business district. Their new home at 413 Northland Boulevard features state-of-the-art embroidery and screen printing equipment. And I have to say, Diana Herbie knows this. We talked about this in our Economic Development Commission meeting. I showed my age because they said they did silk screening. And I was like, oh, yeah, I know how to silk screen. You get the screens out, you get the film. They're like, we don't do it that way anymore. That was like 20 years ago. So I felt my age with that. But they use top-notch apparel items from some of the country's leading vendors, including Samar, Burdick & Rhodes, and SNS Activewear. Whatever your needs are, uniforms, corporate apparel, gifts, conference or trade show apparel, special events, or spirit wear, you can design it with our friends at the T-Shirt Company. Tim and Jennifer Bussey couldn't be with us this evening. They had kids activity come up for them, but I will take this over to their offices on Northland. This is a neat company. We always like to do business with family-owned businesses. That's kind of our bread and butter. They come here, they stay with us, they grow with us. I think this is an example of a company that can do that. So we wanted to welcome the T-Shirt Company to our community and wish them many years of success. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Okay, so Mr. Brenwell, you'll make sure that they get their plaque. Thank you very much. Next item is item number 4, communications from the public. This is the time for citizens to comment on matters before council or to ask questions of concern to them. Recognize, please come forward to the podium, give your name and address, and then state your comments or questions. Council meetings are tape recorded for ease of transcriptions. Comments are limited to 5 minutes. Seeing no one from the public, we'll move on to item 5, reports of standing committees. First of these reports is Human Resources Committee, Councilwoman Hope.
I do not have a human resource report tonight, but on behalf of the Beautification Commission, I would like to thank everybody that participated with putting out flowers, and I hope everybody that wanted a flag got a flag. With that would end my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Councilwoman Holt? Hearing none, Councilwoman Holt, I have no items on the agenda for the work session of the 25th. Do you have any to add?
No, I do not. Thanks.
Thank you. Next report is Public Improvement and Facilities, Councilwoman Moore.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have no report at this time.
Questions for Councilwoman Moore? Hearing none, Councilwoman Moore, I have one item on the agenda for you. municipal building plaza replacement. Do you have any others to add?
Yes, I would also like to talk about smart cities.
Excuse me?
Smart cities.
Okay.
What did she say?
Smart cities.
Okay. Any other questions or comments for Councilwoman Moore? Hearing none, the next report is Public Safety Committee. Councilwoman Nuss.
I don't have a report to add at this time, but last Saturday, I would say, was a really joyful time. It was bittersweet. Our outgoing chief, Phil Cannon, had his retirement party over at the Senior Center, and I think everyone had a very, very good time. And it wasn't somber. It was lighthearted and cut some rugs on that floor, and it was a good time. So we will surely miss him.
Questions for Councilwoman Nuss? Hearing none, Councilwoman Nuss, I have no items on the agenda for the work session for you of the 25th. Do you have any to add?
I do not.
Next report is Ways and Means Committee. Councilwoman Herbie.
I have no report on Ways and Means. I know that there will be something coming to the work session next week, a recommendation for an incentive. And I did attend the Ohio Municipal League training a couple weeks ago and had some questions that I passed on to staff. So, thank you.
Any questions for Councilwoman Herbie? Hearing none, Councilwoman Herbie, I have one item on the agenda, North Point Redevelopment Project. Do you have any to add?
Yes, sir.
Next committee report is Community Development. Mr. Barnes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have no report. However, I will answer any questions if there are any.
Questions for Mr. Barnes? Hearing none, Mr. Barnes, I have one item on the agenda for you, the solid waste bids. Do you have any to add?
No, thank you.
The next report is Law Committee. Councilwoman Collins.
I have no report from the Law Committee at this time. I, too, attended the Hamilton County, the Ohio Municipal League meeting last week, and it was very informative, and some of the issues that we will be visiting soon will be the broadband tower deadline that's coming up this summer for us to either place something on our ballot giving the city's position on a location of the broadband towers, or we will decide not to do it and let them come in and perhaps suggest where they would like to place one.
Anything else? Any questions for Councilwoman Collins? Councilwoman Collins, I have one item on the agenda for the work session. That's liquor license request from Trace Hermanos Grocery Store, LLC. Do you have any to add?
No, I do not.
Next committee report is Intergovernmental Relations and Communications Committee. That's my committee. I have no report. I'll answer any questions if there are any. I have one item on the agenda for the next meeting, and that will be a discussion and presentation of the dates, the actual dates for the summer recess. That would end the standing committee reports. Move to item number 6, the mayor's report. Do not have a report at this time. I'll answer any questions if there are any. Item number 7, city manager's report. Mr. Hodges.
Thank you. I'll report only that the departmental reports have been completed, included in the council packet and placed on file with the clerk of council. And there are a number of things that various departments are doing, and we have provided that in the summary to council. That's also available to the general public. So without going through all the details of each department, you can refer to the executive summary. That would conclude my report, but I would respond to any questions if there are any.
Questions for Mr. Hodges? Hearing none, we'll move to the next item, item number 8. Other reports, the first of those being Law Director, Mr. Wyckoff.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Since last meeting, I did some opinion work for Mr. Lewandowski. First, there was a question raised about proper advertising for demolition of a building that I responded to. I also reviewed a contract to hire services agreement. In addition, For the police department, I obtained an order from the court allowing the police department to dispose of firearms that have not been claimed. We do this periodically with our inventory over at the police department. And then finally, I did send to Mr. Hodges an opinion letter regarding a personal injury lawsuit that the Supreme Court reviewed and found in favor of that particular city. And it dealt with some further clarification of the statutory obligation for cities to keep their roads maintained and unobstructed. And it was very helpful in that they delineated what's on the road, what's not on the road, what bush trimming is to be required and not required. So I think the decision overall was favorable to cities across the state of Ohio. I do not have anything else unless there are any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Wyckoff? Hearing none, thank you, sir. Next report, item B, is Clerk of Council, Mrs. Dirksen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do not have a report this evening.
Any questions for Clerk of Council? Hearing none, thank you. We will move to item number 9, new business. Before that, there's a motion. Mr. Burns?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move to suspend the rules requiring the reading in full on 2 separate days and read by title only ordinances 09-2018 through 017-2018.
17, not 017.
Okay. These ordinances.
Second.
These ordinances were posted 6 days prior to the meeting.
It's been moved and second that we suspend the rules requiring the reading in full on 2 separate days and read by title only ordinances number 09-2018 through 17-2018. Is there a discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk call the roll on the motion to suspend?
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Nuss.
Yes.
Motion to suspend passes 7-0. First item on the new business, ordinance number 09-2018. Would the clerk please read this ordinance by title only?
Ordinance number 09-2018. Ordinance authorizing the City of Forest Park, Ohio to enter into a lease purchase agreement and payment schedule by and between PNC Equipment Finance and the City of Forest Park, Ohio to finance the purchase of public works vehicles for the City of Forest Park and authorizing other documents in connection therewith and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
I move adoption of ordinance number 09-2018.
Second.
Been moved and second that we adopt ordinance 09-2018. Is there any discussion? Councilwoman Herbie.
Yes, this is the first of 3 ordinances dealing with lease agreements. This first one is for the Public Works Department. They are purchasing 2 one-ton F-550 trucks for a total of $120,000 for a 3-year lease to expire in 2021. I would urge adoption of this ordinance.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Would the clerk please call the roll on ordinance 09-2018?
Collins,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Burns.
Yes.
Ordinance 09-2018 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is item B, ordinance number 10-2018. Would the clerk please read this ordinance by title only?
Ordinance number 10-2018. Ordinance authorizing the City of Forest Park, Ohio to enter into a lease purchase agreement and payment schedule by and between PNC Equipment Finance and the City of Forest Park, Ohio to finance the purchase of police vehicles and equipment for the City of Forest Park and authorizing other documents in connection therewith and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move adoption of ordinance number 10-2018.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we adopt ordinance 10-2018. Is there a discussion? Councilwoman Herbie.
Yes, this is the second purchase leases agreement for the police department, who's purchasing 4 marked patrol vehicles and 16 in-car cameras for a total of $280,000 for a 3-year lease expiring in 2021.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on ordinance 10-2018?
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Ordinance number 10-2018 passes 7-0. Item C, ordinance number 11-2018. Clerk, please read this ordinance by title only.
Ordinance number 11-2018. Ordinance authorizing the City of Forest Park, Ohio to enter into a lease purchase agreement and payment schedule by and between PNC Equipment Finance and the City of Forest Park, Ohio to finance the purchase of fire vehicles and equipment for the City of Forest Park and authorizing other documents in connection therewith and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move adoption of ordinance number 11-2018.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt ordinance 11-2018. Is there a discussion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, this is a third purchase lease agreement. This is for the fire department, who is purchasing a pickup truck, an engine, and 1 ambulance, and 35 self-contained breathing apparatuses and masks and cylinders for a total cost of $1,210,000. And this is on a 5-year lease to expire in 2023.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on ordinance 11-2018?
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Herbie.
Yes.
Ordinance number 11-2018 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is item D, ordinance number 12-2018. Would the clerk please read this by title only?
Ordinance number 12-2018. An ordinance providing for the issuance of not to exceed $17,000 equipment acquisition bond anticipation notes by the City of Forest Park, Ohio, in anticipation of the issuance of bonds of the city and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move adoption of ordinance number 12-2018.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt ordinance 12-2018. Is there a discussion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, we usually do these bond motions or bond ordinances during the summer, later in the summer, actually. This is happening earlier this summer because of the time-sensitive nature of getting these issued so that we can start work on these things. This is the first of 5. There are 4 separate pieces of legislation, and then the 5th will be the consolidation piece. So this first one is for the Public Works Department, who's purchasing a new vehicle lift for the garage in the amount of $17,000, and I would urge adoption of this ordinance.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on ordinance 12-2018?
Johnson,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt.
Yes.
Ordinance number 12-2018 passes 7-0. Next item is item E, ordinance number 13-2018. Would the clerk please read this one by title only?
Ordinance number 13-2018. An ordinance providing for the issuance of not to exceed $40,000 software acquisition bond anticipation notes by the City of Forest Park, Ohio, in anticipation of the issuance of bonds of the city and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move adoption of ordinance number 13-2018.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we adopt ordinance 13-2018. Is there a discussion?
No, I think the title was self-explanatory.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on 13-2018?
Moore,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Ordinance number 13, 2018 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda, item F. Ordinance number 14-2018. Would the clerk please read this ordinance by title only?
Ordinance number 14-2018, an ordinance providing for the issuance of not to exceed $209,500 building improvement bond anticipation notes by the City of Forest Park, Ohio, in anticipation of the issuance of bonds of the city and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
I would move adoption of ordinance number 14-2018.
Second.
Been moved and second that we adopt ordinance 14-2018. Is there discussion?
Yes, while the title is explanatory as to its purpose and amount, there are three specific large improvements included in this. One is the replacement of the main plaza for the municipal building. One is a new server room, and one is new office furniture. And I would urge adoption of this ordinance.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on ordinance 14-2018?
Nuss,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Ordinance number 14-2018 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is item G, ordinance 15-2018. Clerk, please read this ordinance by title only.
Ordinance number 15-2018, an ordinance providing for the issuance of not to exceed $833,500 street improvement bond anticipation notes by the City of Forest Park, Ohio, in anticipation of the issuance of bonds of the city and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move adoption of ordinance number 15-2018.
Second.
Second.
Been moved and second that we adopt ordinance 15-2018. Is there discussion?
No, again, I think this is self-explanatory. It includes 9 streets, and I was looking to see if we had any lists someplace for what those 9 streets are, but we don't in front of us, so I urge adoption of this ordinance.
Any additional discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk call the roll on 15-2018?
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Nuss.
Yes.
Ordinance 15-2018 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is ordinance item H, ordinance number 16-2018. Would the clerk please read this ordinance by title only?
Ordinance number 16-2018, an ordinance providing for the issuance of not to exceed $1,100,000 various purpose bond anticipation notes by the City of Forest Park, Ohio, in anticipation of the issuance of bonds of the city and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move adoption of ordinance number 16-2018.
Second.
Been moved and second that we adopt ordinance 16-2018. Is there discussion?
Yes, the purpose of this bond is to consolidate all of the 4 previous items into one issuance of bonds. It's not a separate issuance of this amount, but it's consolidation of all the others. And we need this authorization to allow that to happen. So I would urge adoption of this ordinance.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on ordinance 16-2018?
Collins,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Burns.
Yes.
Ordinance 16-2018 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is item I, ordinance number 17-2018. Clerk, please read this ordinance by title only.
Ordinance number 17-2018, amending annual 2018 appropriation ordinance 03-2018.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move adoption of ordinance number 17-2018.
Second.
Been moved and second that we adopt ordinance 17-2018. Is there a discussion?
No, we do this from time to time to cover unforeseen costs. It's a matter of really moving money around that's already been appropriated. And so this is to cover some unforeseen retirement costs in the finance and police department, and also to transfer from the communication manager's position to our search for the new city manager. So I would urge adoption of this ordinance.
Any further discussion?
Just a quick question.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hurry, what do you mean when we say unforeseen retirement costs? What does that mean?
A lot of times we know that people are reaching retirement age. These are people who, I think some of this is not necessarily retirements, but resignations. But they're people who one of them I know is eligible for retirement, but we didn't anticipate they would go at this time. So those are the kinds of things that happen.
Thank you.
Any further questions, any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on ordinance 17-2018?
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Ordinance number 17-2018 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is item J, ordinance number 18-2018. Clerk, please read this ordinance in full.
Ordinance number 18-2018. An ordinance approving a development plan for 12145 Omniplex Court and amending the zoning map to incorporate it overlay amendment thereto. Whereas after careful consideration of Development Plan 17-019 on April 10th, 2018, the Forest Park Planning Commission recommended by a vote of 6-0 that City Council approve the development plan. And whereas upon providing notification as required by law, the City Council of Forest Park scheduled a public hearing to consider Development Plan 18-005 on May 21st, 2018. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the City of Forest Park, Ohio, Section 1, that Development Plan 18-005 be approved and incorporated into the zoning map as an overlay permitting the redevelopment of 12145 Omniplex Court and construction of a new building such as planned to be maintained on permanent file with the Community Development Department with the following conditions. 1, HVAC or similar mechanical equipment mounted outside of the building, whether on the ground or the roof, must be screened from view. Number 2, a lot split for 12171 Omniplex must be approved by staff. Number 3, the dumpster enclosure must be a solid wall with an exterior surface matching one or more of the building materials. Number 4, easements must be established and recorded for underground utilities on the south side of the property. Number 5, the final landscape plan must be approved by staff. Section 2, this ordinance shall be in full force and take effect from and after the earliest date allowed by law.
Is there a motion, Mr. Barnes? Is this a first reading?
It's the first reading.
Okay, there's no vote on this one. Next item on the agenda. Yes,
Specifically, what's going to go there?
maybe nothing. But as you want to answer that based on what Mr. Hardy said, or if you want, why we have to follow through with it.
So this particular issue is more of an administrative issue to follow up and follow through on the ordinance as presented. We can't just leave it sitting. So we have to address the ordinance as written. We have a choice to make. And if you recall, in the public hearing that we had related to this, there was agreement on the provision that the vendor would receive approval from the state, and this was contingent upon this. So we're just going through the process.
So again, specifically on the record, what was supposed to go there in the past?
In the past, if you recall, this was a issue for the the medical marijuana.
Okay, because it's nowhere on here. Because I guess, is it moot at
No.
this point?
No.
They did not receive their license, right?
So do we know if he has any intentions of going forward?
It's not a matter of whether they go forward or not. They submitted to the Planning Commission a request for redevelopment. The Planning Commission approved and recommended that to council after, and then there was a public hearing. We have to follow through with it, whether anything goes there or not, whether they do anything with it or not. In the future, they or somebody else may open that up as a medical marijuana facility, or nothing may go there. But we can't just let a request sit. We have to do something with it. Whether we do it up or down, we have to do something with it. We have to do. This is not about what's going to go there. It's about what we do with the request. Right, John? Is that how that's the way it works?
Because the request, my understanding is, hasn't been withdrawn.
Right.
So it's still an administrative procedure that council has to conclude, since Planning Commission made a 6-0 favorable vote for the change.
Right.
And you're right, it's allowing this to be a planned area for future opportunities, not necessarily the one that is not going forward.
Those future opportunities, do they have to fit in the guidelines of what that company wanted, or can
No.
they be?
It could be anything else that fits into that area of zoning. Anything else? Any other discussion?
Yeah, let me
John?
explain. This is to change it from residential to planned office, I think it is.
No.
No, this is 18. This is the different one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm sorry. Yeah. This is the overlay on the zoning map. So anyone who wants to develop that property would have to initiate the process by submitting the plans to the city. Those plans would have to be approved ultimately by council or disapproved. So it's not that it's wide open to anybody who wants to develop that property. They still would have to submit plans and get approval, and there might be more or less conditions added depending on what the proposed business
Because
is.
it's still owned by, who is it owned by?
Whoever owns it, I don't know who owns the property, but the ownership isn't changing right now.
Is it still that group that, okay.
So, Mr. Mayor, considering all the questions that we have, I would ask that this particular item be placed on the work session, because there is no vote today, and if there's more full discussion that folks would like to have, the work session would be a good place to do that.
We can do that. I would be willing to do that, but anybody who has questions, don't wait to the work session to bring the questions. Submit the questions to the city manager in advance so that if there's research to be done by either city manager or some other staff or the law director, it can be done and those questions can be answered. And try to keep in mind that this is not about that medical marijuana facility. This is about zoning, period. Okay, so we will then move on to the next item on the agenda, which is ordinance number 19-2018. Would the clerk please read that ordinance by title only? I'm sorry, in full.
Ordinance number 19-2018. An ordinance repealing ordinance number 15-1993, approving a zone change for 1.663 acres located at 1215 West Kemper Road from R2, one family residence, to PO planned office, and amending the zoning map thereto. Whereas the City Council passed ordinance 15-1993, approving a zone change for 1.663 acres located at 1215 West Kemper Road from R2, one family residence, to PO planned office. And whereas the Winton Woods City School District submitted an application to rezone the same 1.663 acres from PO to R-2, in effect reversing 1993 rezoning, to meet certain requirements related to the grade 7 through 12 school campus construction project. And whereas after careful consideration of zoning amendment 18-009, the Planning Commission determined that the change from PO to R-2 is consistent with the Forest Park Master Plan and recommended that City Council approve said zoning amendment by a vote of 6-0 cast on April 10th, 2018. And whereas upon providing notification as required by law, the Council of the City of Forest Park scheduled a public hearing to consider zoning amendment 18-009 on May 21st, 2018. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the City of Forest Park, Ohio, Section 1, that Ordinance 05-1993 be repealed in its entirety, and the 1.663 acres located at 1215 West Kemper Road, as more fully described on the map labeled Exhibit A, attached hereto and incorporated herein by reference, be rezoned from PO Plant Office to R-2 One-Family Residence, and the zoning map be amended thereto. Section 2. This ordinance shall be in full force and take effect from and after the earliest date allowed by law.
Okay, this is our first reading, not posted. It will be on the agenda for the next council meeting for a vote. Next item on the agenda then would be item L, motion, Councilwoman Holt.
I would like to make a motion to execute an agreement with management partners for city manager recruitment.
Second.
Been moved and second that we execute an agreement with management partner for city management recruitment. Is there any discussion, Councilwoman Holt?
No discussion.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion to execute the agreement, let it be known by the sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Is there any further business to come before the body? Is there any further business to come before the body? Hearing none, meeting is adjourned.